What difference does the digital make? Before the digital was introduced, life on Earth was pretty different. We went from this to this to this, and finally to this. The digital, and especially digital media, has changed countless things about our society. It's changed the way that we interact with each other. Instead of having to rely on face-to-face communication or even the telephone, people can now use social media platforms to form bonds with other people online and create new friendships. They can also use these digital platforms to strengthen their relationships with their existing acquaintances and friends. Because of the advances in digital technology, we have the ability to contact and connect with more people than ever before. Because of this ability to connect people, the digital has made the world as a whole a more connected place. The internet links people from all over the world, from London to Paris to Australia to China to South Africa to Brazil and many other places, of course. We no longer have to rely on the news or encyclopedias to receive information on what it is like to live in other countries. We can simply read about the experiences of these people on their social media sites. This allows us to relate to these faraway people on a much more personal level and, again, to actually form relationships with them. Although the digital is still not available or widely used in some parts of the world, it is spreading every day. It will be interesting to see if one day having a world that can communicate more easily will change the way that we relate to one another and lessen animosity between nations and people. But so far, this does not seem to be the case. Some people claim that the digital is harming us. It's changing the way we think so that we can't rely on our own knowledge and we feel the immediate need to Google everything. Instead of having to make a serious effort to learn about the world through research, we can simply get a quick and possibly slightly inaccurate summary from Wikipedia. The digital has become so ingrained in us that it has changed a huge number of our habits. Where we used to spend time before bed reading, we now waste hours playing Flappy Bird. While we used to be comfortable with a moment of inactivity and silence with strangers in the elevator, we now feel compelled to check Twitter. It makes sense that this change in our actions might affect our minds, but it's also possible that this isn't a bad thing. While we may spend less effort on finding information now, we are becoming more generally knowledgeable about things that we couldn't have known before. Is the digital changing the essentials of human nature? I don't know. I don't even know if there is an essential human nature, but it is definitely changing the everyday lives of people today. Because of the digital, and specifically the internet, a lot of things exist now that couldn't exist then. Some of these things have been pretty objectively good, like Kickstarter, the site that allows people to easily crowdfund projects. Others have been undeniably bad, like the subreddits dedicated to objectifying young girls. But most of it has been middling and complicated and messy, which is to be expected with the new technology. So, what difference does the digital make? It makes all the difference.